Good day everyone, I am Leonilyn. I am the first reporter of this presentation. In this video presentation, we talk about structured representation. What is structured representation? A structured representation refers to a way of organizing and presenting information in a systematic and organized manner. It involves breaking down complex information into smaller, more manageable components and arranging them in a logical and hierarchical structure way. A structured representation can take many forms, including diagrams, charts, tables, and graphs. Ang structured representation kuno are a variable tool for organizing, analyzing, and communicating complex information. And by breaking down information into smaller, more manageable components, they help us understand and make sense of the world around us. Next is example of structured representation. A database schema defines the structure of database, including tables, fields, and relationship between them. The schema specifies the data types, constraints, and rules that govern the data that can be stored in a database. For example, consider a database used to manage a company's employee information. The database schema will define the tables to store employee information such as name, job, phone number, department ID, project ID, and the schema will specify the data types for each field such as department, project, and constraints on the data. By structuring the data in this way, the database can efficiently store and retrieve employee information and ensure the integrity and consistency of the data. Next is the types of structured representation. There are several types of structured representation that are commonly used to organize and present information. Here are some examples. First is hierarchical structure, network structure, tabular structure, tree structure, and semantic structure. A hierarchical structure is a type of organizational structure in which entities, for example, people, departments, or functions, are arranged in a pyramid-like structure, with one or a few individuals at the top having the most authority and responsibility, and the rest of the organization arranged entirely below them. An example of a CEO in a hierarchical structure would be the top executive in the corporation or company. Ang CEO siya mao'y responsible for setting the overall strategy and direction of the organization. Siya po'y nagduma sa dako nga mga decision and overseeing the work of other executives and managers in the organization. The CEO reports to the board of directors, who are typically elected by shareholders and is ultimately responsible for the success of or failures of the organization. Next is network structure. In a network structure, information is represented as a graph composed of nodes or vertices and edges connecting them. This type of representation can be used to represent complex relationships between entities, such as in social network or transportation networks. Nodes or vertices represent entities such as individuals or locations and edges represent the relationships or connection between them. Let's consider a social network like Facebook. In this network, each user can be represented as a node, and a connection between user can be represented as edges. For example, if ako and then si Estela are friends on Facebook, we can represent this relationship as an edge between the nodes presenting ako ug si Estela. Next is tabular structure. A tabular structure is a type of data structure that represents information into rows and columns, similar to a spreadsheet or database. Each row represents a unique record or observation, while each column represents a specific attribute or variable. This type of structure is often used to store and manipulate large data sets, such as in a database or spreadsheet application. For example, we consider a dataset of customer information for an online store. The tabular structure would have each row representing a unique customer, while each column would represent a specific attribute or variable, such as name, email address, and for case history. In this example, each row represents a unique customer, while each column represents a specific attribute or variable. The customer ID column is used to uniquely identify each customer, while the name, email, and for case history column represent different attributes of the customer.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Estela Marish Peligro. I'm the second reporter of Structured Representation. Tree structure. A tree structure is a type of data structure that organizes information in a hierarchical manner, similar to a family tree. It consists of nodes that are connected by edge, which with a single node at the top, called the root node. Each node can have 0 or more child nodes, but can only have one parent node. So this is the example of tree data structure. They have a, root node A. So the root node A is a parent of B and C. The B and C is a siblings. So B is a parent node of D and E. D and E is also a siblings of B, and C, the parent node of G and F, and also a siblings of C. So the other nodes is the same process. So D is a parent node of H, and E is a parent node of E. So G is not have a siblings or child. So F is a parent node of J. So the other node that have not kanang wala na bitay walay anak. So kaning K, L, M, N, O, and P is a left nodes. Matawag na sila left nodes. So sa height of the tree, they have 5 levels. So ang level 0 na belong si root node. So level 1, B and C. Level 2, B, E, G, and F. And level 3, H, I, and J. And level 4 is K, L, M, N, O, P. So the subtree of A and left side kay si B og D og E. The parent node B and the child D and E. So that was the example of tree structure. Then Semantic structure. A semantic structure is a type of data structure that organizes information based on its meaning and semantics, rather than its physical or visual appearance. It focuses on the relationship between different pieces of information and how they relate to each other. So semantic structure kani siya ay ga-organize sa information sa meaning of the semantic. Type po ni siya sa data structure. Then it physical or visual appearance, nag-base po ni siya sa physical o visual appearance. So nag-focus po ni sa relationship of some information o nag-relates po ni sa others. Example of semantic structure. Consider a list of books with their author and publication dates. To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee, 1960. 1984 by George Orwell, 1949. Pride and Prejudice and Jane Austen. A semantic structure representation of this list would focus on the relationship between the book's author and publication dates and would look something like this. So, maning example sa kaning semantic structure, kaning nasa kilid, kaning na coding. Nakita raman siguro na. So, the advantage and disadvantage of structured representation. Advantage, organized data, consistent format, efficient data processing, improving data accuracy. And disadvantage of structured representation, limited flexibility, time-consuming, costly, and limited expressiveness. So, that's all. Thank you. God bless you.